Hello, everyone. Welcome to the climax of our day. We're going to be having these make it or break it matches to decide who gets knocked out and who makes it to the playoffs.
Yeah, three more matches of the Swiss stage, which is always exciting. Always very good to see. It's been a hectic couple of weeks.
Yes.
I can say from personal experience as well as just the bits and bobs I've been able to catch.
And we've had the things running behind the scenes for a little bit now. So we've already had some picks and bans. So we had Norway pick accuracy for their pool and Scotland pick speed. Scotland has banned minimum caffeine and me and my broken heart, all of the very, very slow act picks. Norway has banned Bayonex, Meteoric Impact, and Oborozuki.
Interesting. Okay. Seems to be banning a lot of the faster ones, but then Norway's gone with Berserker mode first off, followed by Scotland picking Flame Wall, which is, if I remember right, is that the 6 minute long?
That is the 7-ish minute long one, yes.
They're instantly going for the stamina heavy play, trying to wear out Norway's players.
Yes, and Norway also picks Black Balloons here.
That's one I haven't seen yet. Every time I've wanted to see it.
It is slow-ish act. So-ish act, but there's like very, very small jumps in there and a outward scissor rotation pattern at the drop. So it's a little bit less actable than some of the easier ones like minimum caffeine and me and my broken heart, but just barely above that. We are waiting on the final pick from Scotland. I'm expecting something very, very fast here because they will be best off picking the most difficult speed maps to try and tire out Norway.
Let's see what options they've got. If they wanted to go for more stamina, they could always go for escape because that's what 5 minutes. That's the playoffs. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. I'm really not prepared.
Yes, they could go for terminal Missa.
Terminal Missa, that's true. They don't. They go for Shera Ruth, which is
400 BPM jumps and streams.
There's no surprise they went for that then. Yeah, they're definitely trying to lean into that strength of having an advantage on speed. Hopefully it pulls through for them.
Yes. Main thing to note here is with the Norwegian roster, they have Sirtso, Latest Floor, Lub, Datsave, and B4Z1C, who as a group are not the best speed players, especially not on 400 BPM. Basic is how you pronounce the last one.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of these players being able to play some form of speed. However, yeah, 400 BPM is it bridges on a different style of skill set that I don't know if these guys will be able to keep up with.
And Scotland has shown before that they do have the players to pull this off, considering they took Shera Ruth against Poland, which is a very speed-based roster.
That was surprising to see, and we're hoping we can see a similar performance here. And then, yeah, it all rides on those two ACK maps, whether they can somehow out-ACK quite a strong slow-end team on Norway's side. So it's going to be an uphill battle for both of these teams.
And Super Connor is still not here, so you'll be seeing the same three players playing for Scotland all the time.
That's going to tire them out as well. That's difficult, especially after playing a lot of stamina. Jumping straight into ACK afterwards is just brutal to do.
Yeah, but I think it would be better for Scotland than for Norway. Because Norway being a more ACK-centered roster, having to play those faster maps could tire out their players a little bit.
Yeah,
although they can always swap over to different players for those maps.
That is like the strongest thing that they've got in the under their belt is that they can just swap people out as and when they need it, which is always like a huge thing to have. Like Scotland can always call like a 2-minute timeout, but there's only one chance to do that, I think. So you have such a small break for when you're getting so tied up. It's not particularly the best thing for them in this situation.
My expectations for this match is likely having to go to a tiebreaker here.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to be trading back and forth. I don't know if either team can like take one of their opponent's picks. So yeah, we'll definitely.
If anything, it would have to be on the ACK picks from a miss on the Norwegian side.
Yeah.
And we have our players as well. We have Crusader Reverse and Mr. Squid for Scotland. They're only players. And for Norway, we'll be seeing Floor, Datserb, and Surtso. This will be for Berserker mode. We will be starting soon. Players are loading in.
Yep, players are in. Oh, players are already into the match. Jesus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're speedrunning this.
This
this first one around 5.
This is momentum-based accuracy. Slow streams, but your arms will stay moving most of the time here.
Yeah, you can see it's definitely on the faster side of the ACK pool. Not super fast, still very hackable, obviously.
Yes, no difficult angles here or anything, but just constant moving.
Very good performance from Crusader at the moment, and Floor. Crusader bridging that 99 very early on with Floor just behind him.
This is why
and Dasab also neck to neck.
This is why teams weren't picking accuracy against Scotland, because they do have Crusader there who can act insane on these kinds of things.
He definitely is. I mean, he's held that very high 98, whereas everyone else has dropped down. The problem is that Norway just has a much higher average between the three of them. They're all holding that kind of upper end of above like a 98.5 Berserker, whereas we've got Reverse on a 98.3.
This is the things being within 0.01%, constantly flipping between the two sides here.
This is definitely a lot closer than you would have expected map number 1 to be. This is usually the strongest one out of the pool for that team. That wasn't banned, obviously.
Mr. Squid is performing on par with the Norwegian roster here. Reverse performing worse, but Crusader is pulling them upwards to make things very equal.
A lot relies right now on if Reverse can keep himself up and potentially build up that ACK again, or if he's going to keep plummeting and giving Norway that little bit of a foot up that they might need.
Keep in mind, this map is long. Anything can happen. We're only halfway through so far.
God, it's so close. I've never seen it sit this close for like so long. It rarely happens. It's usually
Scotland is a scary team. People just didn't really realize it for quite a while.
Definitely.
They can take these ACK picks. They're amazing on tech, as they've shown, and great on speed. They almost don't have a weakness despite only having 3 players. Just 3 great all-rounders.
I feel like that in and of itself is their kind of like main weakness, is that if you can tire out these players, then they have no way to recover from that.
Things are so close going into this ending here.
It's still
in a few hundredths of a percent between the teams.
Reverse almost dropping below that 98%, which will be probably kind of like the nail in the coffin for Scotland. If you can just climb up a tiny bit, we're currently neck and neck on the exact same average ACK. Oh, never mind.
Oh, we're back.
Oh,
and
no,
it will be Norway taking it.
With less than 200 points?
Yes, less than 200 points between the teams here.
Okay, fair enough.
I would honestly be surprised if there were a replay here. But it is possible. However, Black Balloons is another ACK map they can take later, and they can also try to decide things more on a tiebreaker with a replay if they need to.
Yeah,
it's all about the strategy here. What will they pick?
I'm sure that they wouldn't call a replay here because this is one, not their pick, and two, there's so many more maps that they could save that for. There could be a mess up on one of the speed maps. There could be the tiebreaker, as you mentioned, or black balloons if they really need it there. Using it this early, you only really want to do that if it's your pick and you know for a fact that you're able to pull this back. Because burning that resource this early on is
both teams FCing also means that Scotland would need to beat the current Norway act that they just got, which is a tall order. It's a possibility, but it would be difficult. They can save that. A replay is called.
No, really?
A replay is called. The exact averages were 98.467 versus 98.463 at the end there. A replay call is surprising, but I think they're confident about taking all of the other maps which are possible for them.
Definitely. I feel like
with these two teams,
there's got to be the plan behind this.
Yeah, because with the way the tiebreaker works, if they lose the dice roll, then no matter what pool it is, they are somewhat favored partially. And no matter what map it is in a certain pool, they're also probably a little bit favored. Yeah. And so I think they're confident there, so they might be trying to end it as early as possible for the minimum amount of stress here.
That's always a smart idea to have. If you don't think you can last a long game, then just trying to get these early points in as quick as you can is smart in every way.
I just think they're not too confident maybe on black balloons, or maybe very confident on black balloons. And this is just the one point where it's debatable if they can take it, so they're willing to take that risk.
We'll see how they fare. Whether, especially, my eyes are going to be on reverse to see if he can lift that act up from just that very low 98. Because that, I feel like, will be the very big decider for Team Scotland. If the other two players...
Crusader actually performing better than before, even.
Jesus, he's definitely just top of the match at the moment, especially for this map. He's just, the acting is insane. Look at the HSV. It's all white, all 14s and 15s. There's a couple of 13s down
is incredible on these kinds of things. This is what we would expect to see from Crusader, even with how high of a bar this is. Reverse staying on similar act. Same thing with Mr. Squid. It is just Crusader coming them upwards. Well, Norway is actually doing better than previously.
There's still plenty of time for them to drop down. And they did, a lot of the players did kind of drop a couple of like 0.1, 0.2 after the first quarter of the map. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that coming out again. Although, like you said, both teams performing technically better. Scotland just above the previous act, if not just falling below it.
Reverse actually performing worse.
Oh, he has dropped below that 98. That's
almost below the 97.9 now. Crusader is, however, acting about 0.15% above previously. Although Mr. Squid is actually acting below what they had last time as well.
This is not what you want to see from Team Scotland, especially as they've used their replay here. You don't want to see it burn this quickly.
In fact, what even is the top score on this map currently? It is a 98.9 from Crusader, is number one on this map. Crusader is currently acting number one here.
Interesting.
Better than their own previous best. This score is absurd. Yet they are climbing. If only the rest of the Scotland roster was there to help carry as well. Most likely opportunity for victory here would be slight climbing from the Scotland roster and a miss or something from the Norway roster. Otherwise, things are looking almost set here.
I mean, even with a miss from Norway, the score to beat is a
4-6-7.
so they're below it anyway. So regardless of what Norway does here, it won't change the outcome. And I think
yes, and just off.
I think they actually got almost the exact same score.
They got, I believe, something like 40 points closer, I believe.
Yeah. It was very, very, like, it was consistent from that team. Incredibly consistent, but not enough.
That was absurd from Crusader there.
I mean, yeah.
Crusader beating their previous best act, which was #1, with a 98.95 now. Floor actually getting the second best score on the mat with a 98.73, beating Iraq's #3 playing out of a 98.72.
That's the stuff you love to see in a tournament. You love to see those high leaderboard places get taken up by the players live. It's always incredible to see. And I mean, it was well deserved. Those two scores were great.
Iraq is angry at Floor now for taking that #2 spot. As we will be getting into Flame Wall. This is the Scotland pick here.
We can definitely expect to see a change in that tug of war, hopefully. Hopefully Scotland can hold quite a dominant lead here. That's what I'm hoping to see at least.
That is what
they held their own there. They held their own very well.
But if they can match on accuracy and they're better at speed, they should be doing great here. Okay, for Norway, we'll be seeing latest, lube, and basic. We are waiting on the Scotland pick. Scotland did 0.003% worse on the replay.
Definitely. Yeah, it's consistency there. That if they have one thing to take away from that first map is that they're incredibly consistent as a trio. But it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
If Crusader had gotten that act on their first playthrough, they would have won and likely caused a replay from Norway there. So things very, very much were decided by that first round.
Okay, we just
see the latest lube and the basic play.
I thought we were just waiting on. Yeah, we're waiting on a couple of the players to go live, but they are now, so we're just holding for both the teams and the stream to get ready. Also, yeah, have you been saying lube?
Yes, I have been saying lube because they tried to prank me into saying it, so now I'm going to call them.
Oh, you're just holding your guns.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it out of spite at this point.
That's fair. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're just checking streams.
Basic is having slight technical difficulties, but we'll get things beginning soon.
Oh, okay. So the stream bitrate on basic is a little bit too high, so they're going to use a timeout to just fix that, or to replace basic on this map.
That makes sense.
Sorry, hold on. I'm getting BSRs for my lights.
Yeah, I see a lot of people complimenting your lights here.
It's literally just like £5 to £10 LED strips from Amazon. I was sick of using like the one big light because it's awful lighting. So I decided to actually get lights around the room. So yeah. So the timeout for Norway does need to be used here. However, the issue has already been fixed, so hopefully, we should be able to get into Flame Ball very, very quickly.
This will be beginning soon. We have a player attempting to join the lobby still, so have a little bit of patience as we get things sorted out here. Yes, also make sure that you donate to the prize pool, and also This channel is now affiliate, so you can subscribe.
You can subscribe, you can get a funky badge next to your name, and we can also gamble now. And if you subscribe, you get more points for gambling. So
it's
a win-win. It's a win-win. You support the players and the stream and the staff behind running it, and gambling.
And our match is starting now as players are being sent into the map.
Okay, so we're hoping that all these players can keep up their stamina through this. We're looking out for any misses, although singular misses will probably not change the outcome of this too much, as the length of the map allows a lot of the players to balance out very small drops in their score.
We are seeing the ACK going slightly towards Scotland here.
Which is what you expect. I mean, Crusader's on a 98, never mind. Oh, Crusader dropped very quickly, but that's because the jumps have peaked in.
Yes, Norway actually holding higher on these jumps now. The accuracy on Lube and Basic is quite good right now. Much higher than Reverse and Mr. Squid.
Crusader is holding point, what is that, 4 above Norway's top player, which is the latest at the moment. But yeah, the other two players on Scotland are bringing down that average ever so slightly. They're climbing at the moment as we've come out of the jump section. But they need to be able to hold a higher rack during this faster section in order to keep themselves potentially in the lead.
I still believe that Scotland should have picked faster. Oh my goodness, and Basic loses tracking on their right controller. That is 14 misses for them. Dropping them down a full almost 5% here.
When I said that misses were recoverable, 14 is a little bit more than that amount. They can obviously still act up in this, 4 minutes left of the map. However, it's going to be nowhere near what they could have had beforehand.
And we do see misses from both Reverse and Mr. Squid, but we also see it matched by Lube. Another miss on Basic as well. Crusader holding incredible act right now, though.
The fact that the Crusaders not dropped down from that 97.5 after the initial drop from the jumps is it's incredible, honestly. Latest is also holding incredibly well. They act up very quickly after the jumps, and they're holding that 97.1 even through them. Misses. I looked at the other two, and now there's misses on everyone. One miss from everyone. Everyone's still holding
one miss from every player other than Latest and Crusader. Crusader finally dropping below that 97.5 as we get 1/3 through this map. This map is exceptionally long. Big jump section in here. Big act drop. Oh, we see a miss from Crusader. Still holding higher than Latest on the miss.
That is just incredible, honestly. The act is insane. I mean,
but only 0.5% between the teams now. Keep in mind, the 14 misses that Basic got were all in a row, so many of those did not count as much as they dropped down to the bottom of the accuracy. So if anything, it is closer to a 7 or 8 miss for Norway in terms of their scores.
The debate that we've got to have now is, do Norway replay here? If Scotland doesn't mess up, then this is a huge gap. But if Basic can make sure that their tracking doesn't give in, do they want to use their replay here now? Or?
We're gonna spend 7 minutes on this map.
Yeah.
Again.
Do they want to burn another 7 minutes and their replay on a speed map when they can just give Scotland a point and move on to the Black Balloon? It would be trading replays. It's a dangerous game to do though.
It would be. They might be better off saving it for in case anything similar happens on an ACK map.
Definitely, or whatever the tiebreaker might have to bring to these two teams if we get there, which I'm hoping we do.
You're seeing no more misses from either team as we are in the break section currently. Crusader almost climbing back up to a 97-4 with the 1 miss here. That is absurd. Inhuman stuff there.
The fact that Latest is still not only the only player I've seen now, but also still holding that really strong 97-1 to 97-1-5 throughout the entire map, not really fluctuating through anything, is incredible. And yeah, Crusader climbing back up to almost near his original FCAC after that miss is it just shows how strong of a player he is.
We're into the next jump section. Axe will be dropping. Misses may be happening. We'll have to see.
None yet.
We're playing with almost no trails, makes things so hard to see on those streams sometimes.
It looks so stuttery. Like, I can understand why people would play with it, but it just looks like the Saber's lagging so much. You see a blink of it and then it's gone.
No more extra misses. Maintaining the 0.4% lead for Scotland currently. As we are actually nearing the end of this match.
Latest dropping below a 97 as they pick up a miss, finally dropping down to a 96.87. And 4 misses.
Oh,
what happened?
4 misses on Latest.
I think they slipped up on one of these jumps. Patterns coming up on the screen right now. Or no, it's already happened. Never mind.
Possibly a slight hand twitch or something on those jumps.
Yeah, that will sentence Team Norway to potentially losing this point unless they want to trade replays with Scotland here and go through another 7 minutes. It's definitely plausible for them to win this if Basic can sort their tracking and everyone else can hold 6 misses now on Latest, 2 for Lub, whereas Scotland is still holding that original 1 miss.
Yes, Latest had a lag spike and is now up to 6 misses on this ending as Lub catches another miss. Final miscounts are 3-23 in favor of Scotland, and they will be taking that point. The 96.66%. Replay is unlikely, yet still possible here. They will likely save that for their own pick or possibly the tiebreaker if things get to that point.
Then again, we say that. We said Scotland wouldn't replay, and then they instantly just proved us
It
all
was
wrong.
a possibility for Scotland, though, because it was so close. This was 0.6% away.
But it was...
And knowing how close the previous ACK map was, they might want to save their replay for the next ACK map to not lose on their pick.
They do call no replay. But yeah, there were plenty of reasons to use their replay and not. On one hand, if there's no lag/tracking, they could take this. On the other hand, it's 7 minutes of tiring out the 3 Scottish players, whereas they can just swap people out for the next map. So there is some tactic there, but it makes perfect sense to keep their to keep their replay. But we'll be moving on to Black Balloons with a scoreline of 1-1 now. So we're slowing right back down, going back into the accuracy pool for a bit, which is great.
Yep, and this map is slightly slower than Berserker mode. So we'll be seeing Beat Saber Floor and Latest coming in for Norway on that pick. I don't believe Latest was playing for them on Berserker mode.
Latest was.
Latest was?
Latest was holding the 97-1.
Oh. No. No, they had Floor, Beat Saber, and Sertso playing for Berserker mode. No, on the previous ACK pick.
Oh, I thought you meant the last map.
No, Beat Saber Floor and Latest is coming in instead of Sertso here. And Scotland is ready. We'll be seeing when Norway is ready. Scotland obviously having the same 3 players, as that's all they have.
Is there any possibility of Connor coming back during this match, or is it a... Oh wait, Connor is in the VC.
Connor is in the VC. I don't believe Connor will be playing, considering how good these 3 have been doing regardless.
But if one of them needs a break, especially on this 4th map, then I could definitely see them coming in. Oh, Connor said he's not playing during the tournament. Full stop?
Okay, so they only have those 3 players, really. Right. It's only there for qualifiers.
Interesting.
Well, Connor's on a bus currently. Okay, then.
I can see bus gaming.
Anyway, we are getting into this map over here. And the acts are in favor of Scotland. Having Crusader is helping them so much here on that incredible act currently. Oh, things are evening out here.
Latest in reverse, currently neck and neck, whereas Flora and Crusader are kind of holding a similar. They're dropping a bit in this most recent section. Dasso kind of seems to be the decider right now, as he's 0.15 above Mr. Squid.
Crusader unfortunately dropping back there,
but still 0.1 above Floor and Dasso as well.
I find it strange when people miss on that, or people drop Ack on that section, because you just swing more vertical and you don't really lose Ack on it. You just kind of hit it wrong.
I didn't see which pattern it was that they lost on. Was it this kind of like horizontal?
It is the big diagonal scissors. You're going to see them right about now.
Ah, yeah, no, I can see a lot of people losing Ack there. In the moment. In the moment, I can understand slipping up and kind of mispositioning, which I think...
Things are 0.02% in favor of Scotland currently. This ending is a little bit faster than some of the other drops.
If they can hold this, though, this would be a huge point for them, or a huge replay take. There's no way we wouldn't see a replay here if Scotland is able to hold this, but Norway is dropping a little bit more. That's a 0.05 gap right now.
There is. In next to no time. And Scotland will be taking the Ack pick. This is what I was saying about Scotland. They're scary on accuracy, largely because they have Crusader there. Crusader is horrifying to go against on anything like this.
For saying that it's a 3-man team that outperforming a lot of people's expectations. I knew these players were strong, but yeah,
I was not expecting for them to beat Poland earlier, and now they are performing extremely well against Norway here. This is a scary team. Very, very underrated
points in between Norway and Scotland on that last map.
Not
very small gap.
Not huge, but not too small either. There's a 2-minute break being called. Things on an Ack map, a 620 point difference is way larger than on, say, a speed map.
Definitely. Well, on any Ack map, a point difference may seem small, but it's like those very small differences between like hitting like a 13 and a 15 on like, let's say like 1 or 2 nodes, and that's a huge difference. I definitely see Norway replaying here. Like, this is their second pick. This would put them in a good stead for.
I believe they need it.
Yeah, because would they win? Would they win? What was map number 4?
Shera Ruth.
Shera Ruth. Would they win a 400 BPM jump map?
Scotland wins that, I think, every time unless something absurd happens. So Norway needs this. But something absurd could happen on Shera Ruth to bring it over.
But that's gambling a lot on kind of trusting that they can beat out Scotland here. When we saw on the last speed map that like Scotland was able to hold their own extremely well.
Especially with Basic having tracking issues on Flame Wall, brings into question who they're going to put on for speed if they have to play that again.
We'll probably see latest and who is the
and Lube as well.
Okay. Because would they put Basic back in, especially if he's having issues on slower speed maps? 400 BPM jumps are the worst thing you could try and put someone on.
Yes, exactly. So it's pretty questionable what they're going to be doing there. They're deciding now if there will be a replay and we need a response from them there. If not, things are going to be very, very scary for their roster. There will be a replay. That is unsurprising.
Yeah.
I think they realize how good Scotland will be on that 400 BPM map. Being able to beat players like Wojtek on it, when Norway doesn't exactly have any comparable 400 BPM jump players.
Excuse me.
And we will be seeing which players Norway will be putting on. We'll be putting on Lube, Datserb, and Floor. No latest.
Interesting. Latest was the lowest on their team, actually. They were holding neck and neck with Reverse on
That's
the
true,
Scotland
but
team, so.
Lube coming in also instead of Surtso, who they had on the first ACK pick.
They must have some idea behind this. I mean, we'll try to see what they're cooking up. Maybe these players are going to come out of the gate with insanely high ACK that we couldn't have expected.
Latest is lacking a ton, apparently. So that's definitely the thing behind taking latest out. But the question is on Surtso here, taking Surtso out. I guess they believe that Luke can act better than Surtso on this map. Both teams are ready. So we will be seeing this begin soon. And the timer has begun. Oh. Okay, and now we're good. We'll be seeing Black Balloons yet again. I do love this song. The song is great. So
the song is
I don't mind hearing it.
There's a lot of songs where I'd love to see two replays on one map, because just to be able to listen back to back to the same song is great.
Mm-hmm. Things are tight here, somewhat in favor of Norway currently. As we see Luke holding incredibly high ACK.
Floor and Dasta are holding that.
Up to 99s even.
Crusader's holding a little bit below what he did last time. However,
there is still space to go. It is just the intro, apparently.
The score to beat is... we didn't get a ACK, did we? 1 million.
It is Crusader swinging a little bit more vertical here, and it is actually working for the accuracy. That is nice to see. Floor holding right on par with Crusader currently. Reverse bringing down Scotland just a little bit more than Lube is. And Mr. Grid not quite being able to match up to Datserb currently. Putting Norway at a 0.1% advantage here. When 98.58 is the score to beat right now. And Norway is currently holding 0.4, 0.3-ish above that. And the ending is somewhat ACK drop for their team. So things are extremely questionable here.
You can see Reverse is struggling to ACK a lot of these diagonal notes, those scissor notes that you were talking about, as well as those diagonal like slow jumps. You can see a lot of like 107s, 100s there.
Can Norway hold here and not drop below the 98.58?
Looks like they might be able to do it.
Calm. It looks like it will be happening. And that was a well-spent replay. However, Scotland does still have their replay. And now we will be seeing Shera Ruth, a very, very Scotland-favored map.
Scotland doesn't have their replay, do they? They spent it on...
Oh, wait, you're correct. Yeah, they did spend it right at the beginning.
Yeah, they spent it on the first map.
On the ACK map. That is true.
So all relies on the Scottish players doing well on their own pick, which is, again, the 400 BPM.
It's incredible what's happened here. Just from that very, very first play. If Scotland had won based off of that 0.004% below they had on that first pick, then it's very possible that Norway wouldn't have had that replay here to spend, and Scotland would have went up 2-1 with their pick to go. Definitely. But because of that 0.004%, things are a lot tighter here.
I definitely see this going to a tiebreaker now. There's a lot on the line with what's it called? There's a lot on the line with this fourth map.
With Shera Ruth.
Yeah, but the thing is, at this type of speed, a single mistake from any of these players is going to completely mess up their entire timing. So we can't rule out the chance that Scotland trips up, messes anything up.
We will be seeing Basic come in again for Norway, along with Loop and Latest. And same cast again for Scotland. The Reverse, Mr. Squid, and Crusader trio.
I'm kind of worried for Basic here. I hope that their tracking can hold up, because I know how infuriating it is for your tracking to die in a map, because it's nothing you can really do. Like, sure, a miss is kind of on you, but if your tracking dies, you're kind of laying down. It's not laying down. Your headset's laying you and your team down, whereas you can't really do anything about it. So we do want to see close match.
Team's already, and so is stream. So we will be beginning very, very soon here. As we launch right into this countdown. I'm expecting very, very heavily favored towards Scotland, but we have not seen Norway play this kind of map yet. Slightly in favor of Scotland here at the beginning. And here we go into the 400 sections. Who will hold, who will miss? Let us see.
Norway seems to be holding quite a strong lead at the moment, however they're dropping about the same as Scotland right now. 0.4 gap, is that 0.3, 0.4?
0.3, up to 0.4 now.
Crusader still holding above that 97 though after that first set of jumps. And we go into... Nope, never mind.
These teams need to watch out for these streams which come later in this map. Oh, and we see the first miss from Lube here.
However, even with that miss, Norway is ever so slightly behind. It's not a big enough gap for Scotland to be in the clear right now. They need to still calm the heart and just make sure that they can hit everything that comes up, especially this stream's coming out later.
Crusader is just absurd this entire match so far. Oh, God. 3 misses on the stream from Mr. Squid. I told you those streams change everything. We saw like double-digit misses on some players on the streams.
I can understand. I can completely understand why people are missing that. That looked awful to play at this speed. I say awful.
Another 3 misses from Reverse.
Oh, that might be it for Scotland because there's not a lot of.
9 misses on Squid and 4 on Reverse now.
No.
Basic gets their first miss. This is starting to climb on Norway.
8 misses on Basic. 2 on Love. But even with those 8 misses coming out from Basic, it's not really changed the gap enough. Oh, never mind. A couple more misses.
More misses coming in. But that is it. That is it, and Norway will be taking it.
And with no more replays, that is GG, I think.
It's just those streams, yes.
Wow.
And that is it. We were very much expecting for things to go to a tiebreaker, but I guess not. Norway clinches it up on the speed pick, actually.
I mean, again, at that speed, anything can happen. A single slip-up and you've already lost your timing for the next however long. As we saw,
I do believe that
misses coming out immediately.
Scotland should have went for something like a terminal miss-up pick there, where they would be much, much more favored rather than trying to conserve stamina for a tiebreaker.
Definitely. Unfortunately, that does mean that Scotland is out of the tournament. The first of the teams in round 5 to be leaving us, whereas Norway will be moving on.
The playoffs. We have 6 teams so far. We'll be having 2 more matches today to decide who moves on and who gets eliminated from Belgium and Poland and Finland and Russia. So stick around for those, as they will be happening soon. This is my time to leave, so goodbye.
I think it is mine as well. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys next week, either from Team England or here, or both. Enjoy the next couple of matches, yeah.
Yep. See you, everybody.